let's get into some things, child. We got some stuff to talk about today, honey. We got some stuff to talk about. Hit that like button if you are new here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We have a great time over here. You meant what you said when you said it. Really be as bad, because I don't be understanding y'all sometimes. And when y'all know when I say y'all, you know I ain't talking about y'all. I'm talking about y'all. Convince me that all these people that got something to say have been actively involved in the political process in their world. I don't believe it. You ain't gonna convince me. I know y'all love me. What's up? What's up? Happy hump day, everybody. Is it me? They look extra. Excuse me, y'all. I have these. Maybe it's the glasses. Child, what's going on with this camera situation? Hey, everybody. Happy hump day. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. So listen. We're on both channels. We are on ReallyBTV and ReallyBTV Reviews. So if you are not subscribed to both channels, please get subscribed to both channels. We are here. We are here. I did set a goal. If we hit the goal, I will open up the panel and let y'all come up and let me hear y'all's point of view. If we hit the goal, I will open up the panel for a few minutes so I can hear y'all's point of view on what we getting ready to discuss. If you are on the ReallyBTV review side, you have to come over to ReallyBTV if you want to contribute to the goal. You can super chat me on both channels, but it'll only go towards the goal on ReallyBTV. So there it is. So let me say hi real quick. Hey, everybody. Coming on in. Hey, Cams. Hey, Boo. Chuck. Everybody, I'm getting my walk on. It's beautiful. A bridge. On the bridge, a lot of hot chocolate and brown men running around. Now you behave. Hey, Kenneth. Hey, Boo. It is not a new intro. That's how long it's been since you've been over here. Kenneth, that intro is almost a year old. See? You need to come over here more often. We didn't have that intro since January. See what I'm saying? Hey, Brandon, Candy. Hey, everybody coming in. If I missed you, shout it to my head, not my heart. I'm not going down the whole list like I normally do. We're going to get into this. Hey, Nate, what's up, boo? I thought defamation was bad until he tried to say, listen, I let him get away with defamation. But when he tried to say integrity, nope. Couldn't do it. So let's get into it. Last night on the ReallyBTV review side, we talked about the fact that Kelli Ferrell's ex-husband, Mark, is suing everybody. He is suing Rockhead County. He's suing Bravo. He's suing everybody, okay? Now, on his interview with Tasha K, he said he's going to sue Kelli too. So he is planning to sue everybody. Now, we talked about that a little bit yesterday, so y'all can go catch that live on ReallyBTV Reviews. We looked at his press conference. I do not have any paperwork as of yet, but after listening to Tasha K's interview, I am absolutely going to reach out to a friend of mine to help me try to pull whatever is public and read through it, because after listening to him, some of what he said makes sense. And I'm like, okay. A lot of what he said doesn't make sense. Well, I'm not going to say it doesn't make sense. A lot of what he said, I'm going to just tell it. And then I'll give y'all my opinion at the end, because I want y'all to hear it. And then, I don't want to taint it. But thank you, Quake. Thank you. And shout out to the person who sent me a Cash App last week and told me to take another spa day. I did not schedule a spa day. I am going to probably later on this month. But the Cash App you sent me, it went to my nails and my eyebrows. I got my eyebrows done yesterday and I got my nails done. So thank you so much for the donation. I did what you told me to do. Okay. I can't believe we're 9 months into 2020. Baby, we are closer to the end than the beginning. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we are here this September. The 3rd of September. A day I'll always remember. I ain't gonna say the next line because I ain't trying to put that out there in the universe. But anyway, if you know, you know. Miss Real say, girl, I screamed. Child, I screamed too. So yesterday I was like, dang, now I feel like I do need to go and look at the interview that Mark did with Tasha K. Well, thank you, Tasha K, because I guess after his press conference yesterday, Tasha K was like, oh, well, let me go ahead and premiere this interview. Because when I got off work today, the interview was streaming. And I was like, thank you. Because I was really about to go behind that paywall so I could listen to it. And that's normally what Tasha K will do. She'll put the interview behind the paywall, and then after a couple of weeks, she'll release it. But sometimes she holds on to them. Like, there have been times when she hasn't released the interview on her YouTube channel for months. But I guess because of what he did yesterday, you know, they sort of did that. Okay. So I'm going to give y'all the notes. As we always do, I watched this so you don't have to, but it is on Tasha K's main channel now, so you can go over there and watch it for yourself. It's not a long interview. I don't think it was an hour. It may have been right under an hour. And I don't really play Tasha K's content, so I'm not going to play a lot of the stuff. Y'all can go over there and hear what y'all want to hear. Because Tasha K, she gives bloggers permission to pay a certain percentage. And after that, she says she will strike you. So my thing is, I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'm just going to tell you what my impressions are, read y'all my notes. And if you, it's there, it's public. Y'all can go hear for yourself. Now, Kelly's husband, Mark, did a sit-down interview with Tasha K. First of all, he said this is only his second interview. He's a very private person. This isn't his cup of tea. He did say that the Real Housewives of Atlanta came to them multiple times and wanted them on the show, and he turned it down because, again, he likes his privacy, and he just didn't feel it was anything positive about the platform. He was like, listen, nothing good comes out of, he said, relationships don't do well coming out of these shows. People don't really make the kind of money you think they make coming off of these shows. And he said Kelly was actually getting legitimate, well, not legitimate, because Housewives is legitimate, but she said Kelly was actually getting offers. She was doing stuff like the OWN Network and Food TV. And he told her to just stay on those platforms, and they didn't really need to do the Real Housewives. He said he just didn't like it. Okay. So he said that him and Kelly actually have a gag order. And so Kelly shouldn't have even gone on the Real Housewives of Atlanta and discussed him at all because there was a gag order. Now, he said that he consulted with his attorneys, and I guess because Kelly broke the gag order first, now he can talk. I don't know. But he said he did consult with his attorneys before doing this interview with Tasha K, and he was cleared. So again, not sure why he was cleared, but he said he was cleared. But he did say that they were supposed to be under a gag order, and so she shouldn't have gone up there to say any of the stuff that she said. Okay. He said that they've been together for 14 years, married for 10. He said, now, here's where stuff get a little tricky. Child, Kahoot said, I watch all of the Food Network. I never saw her. Kahoot said, I'm an avid Food TV Network watcher, and I don't know her. That's what Kahoot said. I believe you, Kahoot. I don't watch the Food Network, but I believe you, okay? And here's the reason why I say I believe it, because see, a lot of time, well, no, I shouldn't say that, because they might not be able to get clearance. Let me just leave that there. Hey, Don, yeah, we talking about Tasha K's interview. She put it on her main channel, Don. It's on her main channel. Mm-hmm. You were like, okay, well, hey, Rants and Rambles, I ain't seen you in a minute, boo. Come on in. Hit that like button. Listen, Don is here. Do we need to? Don, let me know if we need to close them doors. V. Spencer said, I watch the Food Network. I've never seen her either. She said not even on Child. Baby, my sister loved that show. And I told her she should apply to go on it. You know, my sister's a chef. She loved that daggone show, child. Chuck said, whose recipes was she using? Don said, I watched it too. And honey child. Gabby said, I think we do. Gabby said, I think we need to close the doors. Ravine said, let's go super chat gold. He sounds strange and weird. I can't see it for a user. Oh, abuser. You trying to say abuser. Gotcha. Okay. Don said, being Kiana said she need a drink. We just getting started. You need a drink already? Okay, Don said we need to close these doors. So hold on. Let me close the doors on y'all. Let's close the doors.
I said close them doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors.
Close those doors and hit that like button. And he has the collection play. It's 7:01. So if you want to donate to the platform, you could donate $7.01, $17.01, $70.01. Actually, I said we was going to do 19, didn't I? I said because we hit 19,000. So we was going to do 19. So you could do $1.09. I said $1. $1.90, $19.90, not hell, $99. But we hit 19K, okay? Hey, Powerful, what's up, boo? Okay, Auntie Netta says she watched the Food Network too. I'm just telling y'all what this man said, y'all. I'm just telling y'all what this man said. Okay, and he was sent to jail. Tomatoes. Ooh. My sister loves Chopped. I can always tell, but my sister was the last person to watch the television. Either it was on the Food Network or the Cartoon Network. Yes, Chuck. Hell, if you got it like that, $1,900, baby. Listen. If you got it like that, I ain't telling you I ain't gonna take it, okay? Hey, Powerful, did you get that message I sent you about Lonnie doing his next stage show? He's traveling. Okay. I'm just reading y'all the notes, honey. Okay. Here's where it gets. Here's the first side eye to Kelly's husband. He said he originally met Kelly when she was in college. He was already a businessman. He said he was in the music industry and that he had a car dealership, exotic cars. Now, let me say this. First of all, whenever somebody says I was in the music industry, but they can't give a specific title, like you didn't say you were a producer, you didn't say you were a manager, you didn't say you had a music studio, you didn't say that you booked musical acts. You didn't say that. You said I was in the music industry. Sir, what the fuck does that mean? Allegedly, she was on Chop. Hey, Busy. Hey, boo. Now I'm being escorted out. They said I can't get drinks from the bar. Y'all know Busy can get drinks from the bar. I heard Busy's a big tipper, so you better let Busy get that drink now. She was a sous chef on a challenge, Ultimate Thanksgiving Challenge. Second SF Thankful Challenge is the episode. Okay, KD done did the research. KD is doing the research. Okay, I'm Powerful. I'm gonna have to are the tickets already on sale? Because I think I want to go too. You know, them shows be selling out quick. So let me know if the tickets are already on sale. I'm gonna have to go ahead and grab my ticket. Okay. So Tasha K says, well, what's the age difference? That man said it's a 12-year age difference. So that means that if she was 18, 19, 20 in college, you were 30, 31, 32. So that was my first side eye. So you were 12 years older than her. You were dating a college student and you were in your 30s. Because he said he met her when she was 19. That means you in your 30s. So then he said they met while she was in college, and then I guess they broke up. And then after college, after she graduated, she moved back to Baltimore. I didn't think I knew that Kelli was from Baltimore. But he said she moved back to Baltimore, and that's when she had her oldest daughter. And then they got back together. They started dating again. And then he said he moved her back to Atlanta. Now that's what he said. This is his story. Now let me be clear about something. Before y'all come for me, and I know y'all not gonna come for me, but I mean people in the comments, because I swear the trolls wait for the episode for me. The trolls wait for the show to be over, and then they leave their comments in, after the show rather than leaving it in the chat during the show. So before y'all come for me, I'm not saying that I believe any of this. I know any of this to be true. I am only telling y'all what the notes are and what this man said. Now, I'll give y'all my commentary when we get there. But I ain't saying I believe everything this man's saying. I'm telling you this is his side of the story, okay? He said they got back together and he moved her back to Atlanta. She did say that on the show, okay? Well, there you go. Don says she told us this, okay? So Tasha said, well, what was she doing? Because by this time, according to him, he had the luxury car, exotic car business. And here's what I know. You was probably selling used luxury cars. He said he was doing rentals too. Okay, so he was doing rentals, whatever. He said that he said Kelli was just working. And then he said that she got into event planning and he helped her finance that. Like he gave her the startup money to start doing event planning. This is his story. Xavier, don't do that. He said she don't have an accent, but maybe it's all the surgeries. I'm not doing that. Moving right along. Let me get back to my notes because I'm going out of order. Okay, I said gag order together 10 years, music industry, met while she was in college, 12-year age gap, went back to, okay, reconnect. Okay, I'm doing pretty good, staying in order. Now, he said he was already a millionaire by the time he moved Kelli back to Atlanta. Tasha asked him how much he was making off of his car dealership yearly, and he said about $2 million a year. So that tells me that you was a millionaire. I mean, if you're making $2 million a year, sir, you're a millionaire. So you're saying you were a millionaire before she moved back to Atlanta. Okay. So he said she was doing event planning, and it was pretty successful. He said it wasn't maintaining, it wasn't providing like $1 million lifestyle, but it was self-sustaining. It wasn't eating up their money, right? But it wasn't really, that wasn't, they were living off of his money, basically is what he said. So then he said, that she wanted to get into something else. The Bridezillas were starting to get on her nerves. It was just a little bit too much to try to do the party planning and this, that, and the other. I hope that doggy party she had at the park was not an example of the type of event she used to put together. I thought about that, y'all. That's the first thing I thought about. I said, that dog party, is that an example of the type of party she used to put together? Okay. The Balmain party. I guess that's how she had connections with like Balmain or whatever. I don't know. What other parties did Kelli do on the show? She did the Balmain party, the dog party. I feel like she did another event, y'all. Remind me. I feel like she did another event. So child, not I tried real hard to put that stupid dog party out of my mind, child. It was a mess. Is there a reason why he would lie about when and how they eventually got together? No, I'm not saying there's a reason. I'm just telling y'all what I know. This is what I know about how the trolls work. Don can attest to what I'm saying. Okay, I'm not calling this man a liar at all. Actually, I believe a lot of what this man is saying, if you want me to be honest about it. I'm just saying I know how the trolls work. So what I'm saying is everything that I'm saying, just to put the disclosure on there, These are all things coming out of his mouth. So what I mean is, don't come down in these comments challenging me about what that man said. Because I'm telling you what the man said. Okay, that's what I'm saying. But listen, again, when we get to the end, I'm gonna be honest with you. Oh yeah, the Williams Sonoma cook-off. Yeah. Her daughter's sweet 16, right? When she had the 16 purses. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now the sweet 16 was cute. It was a lot, but it was cute. Okay. Two Love said, yeah, I'm just telling you, I know how these trolls work, honey. Come back. Hey, Two Love, Keila, I'm telling you, come back in about 2 days and read the comments. All right. He said that opening up a breakfast restaurant was always his vision. He said it's something that he always wanted to do. He said that he used his recipes. He said he's from Louisiana. He's a Louisiana boy, and he know how to cook. He said those recipes come from his family, and that it was his vision to open up this restaurant. And what he said was, he signed an artist to a record label, an artist out of Baltimore. Now, he said the artist name, never heard of him, but that don't mean nothing. He said he took that money he got for signing that artist, so I'm going to assume he was some sort of a manager. And he took that money and he flipped it into opening up their first restaurant. He said everything is in his name. He said Kelli was a silent partner, but the articles of incorporation, the trademark, everything was in his name. That's what he said. Everything was in his name. Now, that's important. We're going to come back to that. And this is why I really want to pull the paperwork, because let me say this. A lot of what this man said can be so easily either confirmed or debunked. And that's why I want to pull whatever is public. I honestly do want to pull it. And I want to read it for myself, because I'm going to say it now because I don't want to forget to say it later. Because if this man is telling the truth and he has the documents to support it, baby, somebody going to jail. Let me say this one more time for the people in the back. If everything this man is saying is true and he has the paperwork to prove it, somebody's going to jail. Cheap 38, cheap 83 times 21. The word allegedly is a very important word. It's his word against hers. We're going to get there. And again, I'm not saying that he did or didn't put his hands on her. I wasn't in that house with them people. So, he said that their first restaurant was doing almost $3 million. And that's when it was, yes, jail, Nikki, jail. And that it was time to do some expansion. So he said, I'm going to come back to their separation. I'm going to come back to how they separated. But he said that when it was time for them to expand, they wanted to open up another location, actually 2 more locations. And so he applied for a business loan. He said he got a business loan for almost $500,000. And during this time, him and Kelli were separated. We're going to get back to how they separated. We're going to get back to that in a second. But him and Kelli were separated during this time, but they were working on getting back together. He said they were going to counseling. They were doing date nights. They were trying to work on getting back together, but at the time, they were not living together. He said that his business attorney or business manager, I should say, called him and said, hey, bro, do you know that Kelli is dipping into this money? And he said, what do you mean? And he said, well, Kelli just spent $30,000 down to Tulum celebrating her birthday. And he said he went and checked and he saw She absolutely spent $30,000 in 1 month. And part of that was celebrating her birthday down to the Tulum, Mexico. So he said that what he did was, in order to stop her from being able to spend the money, he said he took the money, he moved it to a different account, because that money was a business loan that was specifically earmarked in order for them to open up 2 more locations. And Kelli was spending it as if it was their personal money for her to do whatever she wanted. Now, that's what he said. I ain't saying it's true or false. I'm telling y'all what the man said. Now, what he said was, he eventually moved that money back when it was time to start paying the contractors, and when he actually started, you know, when he bought the second location or rented whatever, when he was moving forward with what had to happen for those other 2 locations, he said he actually did move the money back, because now he had to start paying people out of that account. Now, that's what he's saying. All right. Now, in the interim, once Kelli realized the money was gone, and I'm sure there was some heated conversations about the money not being there and why the money was gone and all of that, I'm sure. Like, we're not going to sit here and pretend like Kelli called him and was like, hey, babe, I tried to get some money out of the ATM and they said there was no money. And he was like, well, you know, babe, like, we're not going to pretend like that's how the conversation went. I'm sure they was cussing, fussing, and talking shit. I'm sure it was a whole lot of that. Hey, Mrs. Parker, thank you for the super chat, my love. Thank you. Going towards that goal, y'all. We trying to move towards that goal. I'm open up the panel if we hit our goal. You can only do the goal on the ReallyBTV side. Okay. I mean, you can still do super chat on the other side, but it only go towards the goal on the Really Will on both channels. So he said that when Kelli realized the money was gone, and again, I'm sure there was some heated conversations. I'm sure that they cussed each other out. I'm sure they called each other all kinds of names. I guess when Kelli realized he wasn't going to put that money back, according to him, that is when Kelli got an attorney and sued him for the money. Now, this is where it gets tricky for me as far as understanding what happened. Because I have a lot of thoughts. Some of it I don't understand. I need more information. Some of it I kind of think, in my opinion, I think I know what went down. So let me say this. He said that when Kelli went to go sue him for this money, here's where it gets tricky for me. I don't understand, if everything is in your name, if the loan was in your name, the business was in your name, I don't understand how Kelli even got the balls, for lack of a better term, to go get an attorney and say, he took this money and it's mine and he need to put it back. And for an attorney to take the case and say, oh yeah, he's wrong, we're going to go get this money. That's where I think some of the story is missing some information. You understand what I'm saying? That's where I think something now. So what he said was, and this is where he didn't change the story on this one. First, he said he was never served. Then he said he was never properly served. Then he said, well, the nanny got the paperwork, but I was never properly served. So again, I don't know what the laws in the state of Georgia are about service, because that varies from state to state. In some states, you can only serve the person that you are suing. That's it. That's all. If they don't get service, that's it. That's all. In some states, if you've made a good faith attempt and you can show the court that you've tried XYZ amount of times and the person didn't receive service, then you could just put it in the paper and give it a certain amount of days, and that serve as service. In some states, you can serve whoever answers the damn door. I mean, it really does vary. So here's why I'm saying this is where I think Mark and his arrogance comes into play. Because If the nanny got the paperwork, then you know she was taking you to court. If the nanny got, I do not believe for a second that the nanny got that paperwork and didn't tell you nothing about it. I do not believe for a second that the nanny said, "Oh, this isn't important," and threw it off to the side and it fell behind, the table in the hallway, and you didn't know. You knew she was suing you. Now, what you told yourself though was, "Oh, she didn't put it in my hand, so it doesn't count, and fuck her." That's what I believe you said. What I believe you said was, "Oh, she didn't properly serve me, so this don't mean shit, and it's gonna get thrown out." That's what I think you thought was gonna happen. That's what I think you thought. Auntie Kim, can you send me the link to that? Keisha always do them exposés, honey. Can you send me the link to Color Me Pink's video? If you can't find it, I'll look for it when I get off of here. But I'm gonna try to reach out to Simone and see if Simone can get the paperwork for me, because she might be able to pull it for me. But I believe that's what happened, because then you went on to say, well, the day we had court, first you said you ain't know you had court that day. Then you said you didn't have an attorney. You only had a divorce attorney. You didn't have an attorney. Then you said, well, you had COVID. Now, to be fair, 2 out of the 3 things can be true at the same time. You could have had COVID and didn't know you had court. You could have had COVID and didn't have an attorney. But all 3 of those things can't be true at the same time, because why would you know you needed an attorney if you didn't know you had court? Because he said he asked his divorce attorney, and his divorce attorney said, "Oh, nah, you need to find somebody that specializes in this kind of law. I can't help you." Which tells me you knew you had court. Now, you legitimately could have been sick. I can't say you weren't, but you knew you had court. And I honestly think that you had convinced yourself that either A, you were never properly served, so the whole thing was going to get thrown out, or B, you're so arrogant, you're this man and you're smarter than Kelly. That's what I believe. Now, that doesn't, thank you, y'all. That's the link for Color Me Pink. Thank you, boo. I'll get it later, but that's it right there. Hold on, let me read a couple of y'all's comments before I move on to what happened in court. I tend to believe, that's what I said. Oh shoot, I went too far up. Sorry, hold on, y'all. He Delulu, he got by his own terms, and the table flipped. So now this ninja, I'm not going to be barefoot in the kitchen. Let's make this money. Cooking is her thing, but this was his passion project. Okay. The ink on my birth certificate must not have dried yet. Y'all cut up. Wouldn't this have been an issue for the divorce? Why didn't he provide the proof during the divorce proceedings? Oh, we're gonna get to that. That's a good question. On the show, Kelly says she started the restaurant 8 years ago. 3 years into their marriage. Sounds like it may not have been his. I think it was in both of their names. It doesn't make sense to take out a business loan and a personal bank account. Wouldn't you put business money in a business account? Well, that's what he's saying. He's saying it was in a business account and Kelly was taking the money out. That's what he said. I just read that. Okay. Cali Girl said, in Georgia, a court can allow service by leaving the documents with a competent adult over 18 in the household, a method known as substitutional service. See, and thank you, Cali Girl. And that's what I'm saying. Each state has a different thing, but I think he thought, oh, she didn't put it in my hand. A lot of people are under the misguided belief that when you're served, if they don't put it in your hand, it doesn't count. Because, see, y'all got to stop watching these movies and these TV shows and let that teach y'all about the law. Again, each state is different. You need to learn what the laws are in the state in which you live so you know what you should and should not do, okay? If the nanny got the paperwork, you knew her ass was taking you to court. Now, Here's where I said, if, and I'm saying if, thank you, Kelly girl, if he can prove what he's saying, something ain't right in the buttermilk. He said that in that court hearing that he didn't show up to, the judge gave everything to Kelli. He said Kelli showed up and said that she was the CEO, that the company was her company, even though her name is not on any paperwork. The loan was not in her name. The trademark is not in her name. None of the paperwork that's filed with the taxes or anything is in her name. Nothing has Kelli's name on it, yet she went into court and said, this is my company, it belongs to me. And the judge gave her everything. Gave her the money, found him in contempt, gave her the money, and gave her all of the business. 100% gave her the business. 100%. And gave her all of the assets. He said he had to sign over his food truck, the house. He lost the house. This is what he said. He said even though by the time they went back to court, he had put most of the money back in the account. Now, again, what I heard, this ain't what he said. This is what I heard. What I heard was, I found out she was taking me to court over this money, so I put that money back in that account real quick. That's what I heard. Because again, you said you took the money out and then you put the money back when it was time to start paying the contractors. You could have just paid the contractors out of the account you put the money in. I'm sure you have more than one business account because you said you had more than one business. So, and it wouldn't have been nothing for you to go to another bank and just open up another business account. If you did transfer that money out of a business account at Bank of America into your personal account at Truist, it wouldn't have been nothing for you to go down to Truist the next day and open up a business account and say, I need to put this money into this business account. I'm changing my business account. It's not that, especially if everything's 100% in your name. So it didn't make sense to me that you took the money out and then you put the money back before you went to court. The court date that you knew about, but you didn't show up for because you didn't have an attorney and you had COVID. So what I felt like was you put that money back in the account before court, thinking that the judge would just be like, oh, well, the money's back now, because that's what Kelli was. You thought that that's what Kelli was suing you for. You thought Kelli was just suing you for that money. So you thought that by the time, well, court, this is my opinion, y'all. This is what I think. This ain't what he said. I think that in his mind, he was like, oh, well, the money's back. So the judge is just going to, say, oh, well, the money's back. Y'all get out my courtroom. That's my opinion. What you should have done was got your ass up and went to court and said, Your Honor, I do not have an attorney. Is there any way that can you give me more time to find an attorney? That's what you should have done. Now, here's what I don't understand. And I'm nobody's attorney. Y'all know I didn't go to nobody's law school. I have my degree from Law and Order University by way of Matlock College. So I did not go to nobody's law school. But here's what I don't understand. If her name ain't on nothing, if her name is on nothing, and they were in the process of a divorce, he said that when all this went down, they were not together and he already had a divorce attorney, which makes me think that some paperwork had already been filed for divorce. That doesn't make it true, y'all. Just because you have a divorce attorney doesn't mean you filed for divorce. But I'm just going by what he said, because Tasha didn't ask him that. At least if she asked, I didn't hear the question. I didn't hear it. I didn't hear Tasha ask him, had you filed for divorce before this? They talked about the fact that all of this should have been resolved in divorce court. But I do not remember Tasha asking him, had you filed for divorce? Because we knew they were separated. He already told us they were separated at the time. Okay? Now, I do not understand a couple that is in the process of going through a divorce, a judge handing over 100% of a business that was started during the marriage to one party, whether it's the husband or the wife, while they are still in the process of going to court. While they're still in the process of a divorce. Now, again, I ain't go to nobody's law school, but that seemed like divorce 101 to me. Cali Girl said, it sounds like they did a sole proprietor for a business and not an LLC, because the LLC, they would have had to keep that money in a business account. And that might be why he put that money back before court. He thought that he's a fool because if I'm the judge, why did you take the money out? Exactly. Because it seems to me like you could have just cut her off. Like, I don't know. I just feel like there were other ways to handle that. But again, I don't know why he took the money back, but I feel like that's why he put it back before they went to court. Now, that's the part where I'm getting lost. And again, I'm not saying I'm getting lost because he's lying and she's telling the truth or vice versa. I'm just saying it just seemed weird to me that a judge would make that extreme of a decision while a couple is in the process of going through a divorce. And this is a major asset, a major, major asset during the divorce. That's just interesting to me. He has a point, slander. The press conference is not necessary. Oh, yeah, the whole press conference was a lot yesterday, Andre. It was a lot. Random question to anyone that can answer. Do any of the housewives have loving husbands or patient in Ray's case? Not just joking, just joking. Listen, not a lot of them. We got a few here or there. We ain't got a lot of them, though. So that's where it gets tricky for me. Now, he said that that's why I'm reading the comments. I paused because I was reading y'all's comments. Katie said everything is in her name and she has to have a bodyguard. It's very much abusive. That's why I said I need to see it. Because to me, that's so easy to prove. Now, he said he gave Tasha K all the documentation, and he clearly gave those lawyers yesterday that filed them lawsuits down to the Rockhead County and the press conference and he had the NAACP and shit out there. It's clear to me that he's got paperwork that says he's the owner. That doesn't make it the right paperwork. It doesn't make it the legal paperwork. It doesn't even make it legitimate. Okay? Okay? I'm not saying that whatever paperwork he has is legitimate or correct. I'm saying he clearly has paperwork because now he also claims as a result of all of this, he did file for bankruptcy, and Kelly, it's not funny, y'all, but it's funny but it's not funny. It's funny from the point of view of Kelly is not taking her foot off this man's neck. Do you hear me? He said that he filed for bankruptcy, and that Kelly, of course, he owes everybody because he don't have no money. He owes everybody. He owes everybody because, like I said, he don't have no money. He said that Kelly and her attorneys filed whatever paperwork in bankruptcy court that the trustee is looking over all of, how the trustee has to look over everything for bankruptcy. And that Kelly and her attorneys have filed, I don't remember the legal term, but I guess like a lien, for lack of a better word, a lien against this bankruptcy. And baby, for her child support. And baby, they done froze the $70,000 that he said he does have in the bank because Kelly says he owe her. He owe it, that is her money. Baby, he say he broke. Like his parents paying his bills broke. Okay. Kelli is not taking her foot off that man's neck, though. He said he done filed bankruptcy and she's still trying to get his money, whatever money he got. Now, the other thing he said, and again, I don't understand this. I've never had to go through child support court, but this doesn't make sense to me either. He said that before Kelli had a chance to okay. He still maintains that his name is on everything, that everything is in his name. So he said that he went out and got a $400,000, another loan. It wasn't $400,000. Anyway, he got another loan. And the judge looked at that loan as income, and that is what she based his child support off of, was off of a loan that he had to pay back that was for the business. And that's why his child support is $3,900 a month, because it was based off that loan. I don't think that's accurate, because child support is based on income. Don't they look at your tax? For all of my ladies and men who done been through child support court, I'm sorry, is that how that works? Like, don't they look at your tax records and look at your pay stubs? And isn't that how that works? I mean, I can't say it. They never ever do that, but they will look at a loan as, and I mean, technically it is income because it's money that's coming into your household, but it's money that has to be paid back. Like, that's not a salary. I didn't think that. Thank you, Abby. I said, I didn't think that that's how that works. Now, what he's alleging is that the judge that did all of these things was doing shit she wasn't supposed to be doing. And that's why it does sound like it doesn't make sense, because it doesn't make sense because that's not how it's supposed to work. So basically what he's saying is, I know that is wrong, but that's my point. My point is, this judge did shit she wasn't supposed to do. That the judge gave my ex-wife the whole business and her name wasn't on any paperwork. That the judge based my child support off of money that was a loan. That the judge put me in jail for 48 days in contempt for not paying money that I'd already paid. Now, this is what this man is saying, y'all. This is what this man is saying. Look at what Mel had to go through while divorcing Martell when she had her businesses after separation using her own money. Katie said, I work with child support. That's not how they do it. If it's in your accounts, yes, they look at it as income in some states. Okay, so Yana said in some states they do. Well, so that's what he's saying. Now, this is what the man is saying. Now, like I said, he said he filed an appeal, but again, I don't remember Tasha. She said, did you file an appeal? And he said they did. But I don't feel like, and again, anybody who watched it, if I missed it, tell me. I don't remember him talking about what happened with the appeal or where what the status is of the appeal. So let me look at my notes on that part before we go back to why they broke up, child. All right. Okay. He said there was no abuse and no infidelity. Again, we're gonna go back to the marriage part. Okay, let me just finish looking at the money. Okay. They were going to, according to him, before all of this happened, they were going to split the restaurants. There were 2 restaurants at the time. Kelli was going to take one location and he was going to take the other location. He said, as of now, Kelli has never paid back that loan. So that $500,000 initial loan, he said Kelli never paid that money back. And that's part of his bankruptcy, I guess, because he had to pay it back. He spent 48 days in jail. He said, he said the judge gave him half. That's what he said. The judge gave him half the debt. So this is what I don't understand. How could the judge give her 100% of the business, but give him half of the debt? To me, it sounds like the judge is acknowledging that the business is 50-50. So how could she walk away with everything, but only half of the debt? That's what we're talking about, Andre. We're talking about the interview. I just don't, that's the part that I didn't understand. I'm like, how can a judge say everything belongs to her, but the debt, that's half yours? See, that's the stuff, that's where the stuff doesn't make sense to me. And again, I'm not saying that automatically means he's lying. I'm just saying the shit don't make sense. Okay. A garnishment. Kelly filed a garnishment on his assets because of the child support. That's what it was. Okay. Now, he said that the restaurant, he said he does acknowledge that they named the restaurant after Kelly's grandmother. He said that that nanny or nanas, he said everybody got a nana in their life, but we did call Kelly's grandmother Nana. He said, and the logo is her face. He said the logo is Kelly's grandmother. He said because she basically helped them take care of their kids while they were running their businesses. And that was his way of sort of like showing her love and respect. I said, ooh. I said, ooh. You're acknowledging that you named the restaurant after her grandmama. Okay. But he still maintains that it was all him, that he financed everything, and that the recipes are his family recipes. I said, okay. Exactly, Abby. It don't make sense. If you got 50% of the debt, then you should have 50% of the business. That just don't even makes no sense to me. So there is something, again, I'm not saying he's right, but there's something in that doesn't make sense for me. Okay, I'm gonna just make sure I got all of this. Okay, lost his home, all happened and he said all this happened before the divorce. He said all of this happened before the divorce. And I just don't understand how a judge makes these major asset decisions for something that happened during the marriage. I could even see if this business was started before they got married, but it was started during the marriage. It's weird to me. All right, now let's go back to how they broke up. That's the money side of this, because I know some of y'all are talking about the abuse and things of that nature. Okay. He said that everything was good in their marriage. He said they were getting along well. They were making money. They were living a good life. He said there was no abuse and there was no infidelity. That's what he said. Y'all ain't got to believe him. I'm just telling you what the man said. He said there was no abuse and there was no infidelity. He said it's 240 people in the chat. If you between both platforms, if you haven't already hit the like button, please do. Please do so at this time. I appreciate it. If you want to support the channel, Cash Apps, Super Chats are not required, but they are accepted and appreciated. Okay. All right. Now, he said that what broke up their marriage, he said that Kelly, he has an older daughter from a previous relationship, and we know Kelly has a daughter from a previous relationship. He said his daughter is about 10 years older than Kelly's daughter. And what he said was that Kelly always treated his daughter differently, didn't always treat his daughter the same as she treated her own kids. And he said there was a situation where they were in LA and the nanny called them and said, hey, the girls are fighting. Now, mind you, his daughter was 20, I think he said 24 at the time. Kelly's daughter was 14 at the time. And what he said happened was Kelly's 14-year-old daughter went into the 24-year-old daughter's room and took something that didn't belong to her. And the girls started arguing. Now, He said it was normal sibling stuff. Because let's be clear, it is normal sibling stuff. My sister used to steal shit out my room all the time. And I used to steal shit out my brother's room all the time. It is what siblings do. So he said that it was a situation where the nanny called because I guess they were really, he said they were fighting, but it wasn't like a bad fight. But he said it did get physical between the two of them. He said when they got back, Kelli basically spazzed out. He said that Kelli tried to fight his 24-year-old daughter and then proceeded to, want to put her shit out. Put her shit in trash bags and threw it outside. He said, absolutely not. My child ain't going nowhere. Okay. What up, Markel? No, I'm on a MacBook. I'm on my new computer. Well, it's not new, but it's a different computer. Markel, listen. I need to talk to you, sir, because I need you to stay off the phone late at night, okay? Because you were cutting up last night, and everybody over there was cutting up last night. I'm going to call Harviana too, okay? Okay. So he said that he said that basically he told Kelli, when I'm not putting my daughter out. Like, this is something we can work through as a family. It's a blended family. There going to be some bumps in the road. We can work through this. And he said that basically Kelli was like, no, like, your daughter disrespecting my daughter and da-da-da-da-da-da. No. And that's why he said they were separated, but they were dating. They were going to therapy, and they were trying to work things out. In his mind, he felt like these are things that they could work through. Now, this is where Tasha K be getting on my nerves sometimes. Tasha K going to look at that man and say, you don't look like an abuser to me. Tasha, what does an abuser look like, ma'am? You were not in those people's house. You don't know what happened behind closed doors. Just because that man is sitting there with his country accent and trying to be all soft-spoken and meek and mild, that does not mean that man wasn't putting his hands on them people, on Kelli and her daughters and anybody else. I hate when people do that. I hate when people be like, oh, he don't look like. And what's funny to me is Tasha K, if you didn't like him, you would say he looked like the biggest abuser, known to mankind. Like, it just, that irritates me when she does, when people, not just her, when people do stuff like that. But anyway, it's amazing how he was just the perfect husband and never did anything wrong, while Kelli was just a spawn to say, yet he's the one with all the Right. Okay. So he said that there was never no infidelity and there was no abuse. Okay. Now, he also said that when he got arrested in court, he said he did not threaten to unalive Kelli. What he said was, it's not funny, y'all. He said, but what he said was, I got you. Like, okay, I got you. He said, Kelli told the people that I said, I'm going to get her, which is why the judge arrested me and why I went to jail. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. That is not why that judge put you in jail. That judge did not put you in jail for saying, even if you had said, I'm going to get you. That is not why that judge put you in jail. Now, if you were screaming and hollering and cussing when you said it, maybe. If you, was foaming at the mouth and said it, maybe. But you ain't say it the way you said it to Tasha K when you was like, she just was playing with words. I said, I got you. And she was like, I'm going to get you. That is not how you said that. And that's not why you went to jail. That's not why you went to jail, sir. I just don't believe that. I just don't believe. Now, he said that there is the one police report where both of them went to jail. He said, yes, we were arguing. He said it was not physical. The police showed up and basically the police was like, one of y'all need to go. And he said that while the police were there, they kept arguing. And so the police basically arrested both of their asses. And he said, that's a police report. You could pull the police report and you could see that both of us got arrested. So again, a lot of what he said, I'm not saying that makes it true, y'all, but a lot of what he said, either A, it can be easily proven that he's lying, or it can be easily proven that he's telling the truth, or the truth is somewhere in the middle, but it still don't make sense. Because what I don't understand is even if he didn't show up to court, and Kelli walked into that courtroom and said, I am the CEO. This is my business. This is my company. And he stole money out of my account. If her name isn't on any paperwork, I don't understand how the judge not only gives her all of the money back, but then says, oh, and by the way, here's the restaurants, here's the food truck, here's the house, here's everything. Oh, and this isn't divorce court, mind you. And Kelli walks out of there with everything. I don't understand that. My logical brain cannot wrap around that. If Kelli's name wasn't on anything, my logical brain just doesn't wrap around that. So again, if he can prove everything that he said, and that judge really, because what he's alluding to is that the judge is in cahoots, right? He's alluding to that he didn't come right out and say that, but at his press conference, in the interview with Tasha K, he didn't say this. But at the press conference, he alluded to the fact that this judge and Kelli are somehow connected, and that the judge was looking out for Kelli. That's what he alluded to at the press conference. Y'all want to look at the press conference again? Because that's what he alluded to at the press conference. You see what I'm saying? Because he was like, I think he said the clerk of the court or somebody posted on social media congratulating Kelli. Like, I'm sorry, why are the people down to the courthouse congratulating Kelli on anything? No, they couldn't have been suing each other because he said he ain't know nothing about the court date. So here's what I'm going to say I believe, okay? Here's what I'm going to say I believe. I believe this is what I'm going to say. I need to get the paperwork. I want to see what I can find. I'm going to reach out to Simone or somebody else that can pull those that I want to pull. So here's what I want to pull. I want to pull any of their divorce documents that I can pull. I want to pull any of the court dates that are public from the I think he said their first hearing was in 2022. I want to start at 2022, and I want to see exactly what Kelli was suing him for and what she alleges in the documents. That's what I want to read first. And then I want to read the divorce paperwork. And for good measure, if I can find a police report from that day that both of their asses got arrested, I'll take that too. I find it interesting. And that's the information that I want. That's the information that I want. I believe he was avoiding service, so the judge allowed him to move forward. I believe, like I said, I definitely believe that. I believe he was playing games with the court. I do believe that. But I still don't understand how, if just because you walk into a courtroom and say, I own it, I can sue Abby for a car that she bought. And I can walk into court and say, Your Honor, she used my money to buy this vehicle. But if the vehicle is in her name, I can show receipts all day long that I gave her the down payment. It's not my car. So I don't understand how you walk out of a courtroom. How do I get to walk out of the courtroom with the car? Now, I understand if Abby doesn't show up for court, but that still doesn't mean she gets I guess a default judgment, I guess. I mean, I guess if it was a default judgment, I guess that's how it can work. Because we see these people get these What happened with Trey Songz didn't show up to court, and it was that $12 million settlement against him. But that's different. That was somebody saying that he assaulted them versus ownership of something. I don't know. I need to see the paperwork. Yes, if there's something in the past and he was heated at the time, you will go to jail. I think this is going to be determined in court. This is a little like how everything only has Simon's name. Happens to our clients all the time, but when they keep trying to get process service, the runaround. And what does slander has to do with a press conference? She asked your ex-wife. She can ask your ex-wife. Well, he's saying that Kelli is slandering him. He's saying that what Kelli is saying about him is not true. He's saying it's lies. He's saying that he never abused her. He's saying that that's lies. And he said that Bravo put it on the show. So this is where Bravo comes in. He's saying Bravo put it on the show without vetting it, I guess, and that he said it's ruined his life. He said he didn't agree to it. They were under a gag order at the time that Kelli wasn't even supposed to be talking about him when she was filming The Real Housewives of Atlanta because they were under a gag order that he wasn't supposed to be talking about her and she wasn't supposed to be talking about him. But Bravo put it on there. He said it's ruined his life. That's what he said. He said if you Google his name, if you Googled his name prior to The Real Housewives of Atlanta, none of his business came up. He said now you Google his name, all this stuff come up about him being an abuser and everything else. I'm just telling y'all what the man said. This is dangerous because if the kids back her up and say he did this, it can get worse. It can. Do y'all want to? Okay, we about to get out of here. Do y'all want to look at the press conference for those who missed it? Do y'all want to look at the press conference again? Abby said, "Not I done finesse Loretta out of a car." Yeah, girl. Let me know if y'all want. I played the press conference again yesterday for the people who missed it. Because y'all might not have seen it. And then y'all can hear for y'all. So I'm not going to play Tasha K, but I'll play the press conference again. But if y'all want to hear for yourself, it's on Tasha K. It's on her. Look at my cousin talking about some yes. I'm going to play it again. Tasha K has it on her platform if y'all want to hear the whole thing. Like I said, I want to see the hearing from 2022 where they first went to court. I want to read what Kelli is alleging. And I want to see what was in their divorce. I want to read it. That's what I want to read. Because again, it may not make no sense. Hold on, y'all. Let me pull it. I'm gonna let y'all look at the press conference from yesterday. Hold on, let me pull it up. I still have it. Unless they took it down off the. It's on the YouTube channel. Let me see. Y'all, this time tomorrow, I'm gonna be watching football. Ooh. Yes. Y'all, why am I still subscribed to the New York Daily Press? That's whitehead shit right there. I thought I had unsubscribed, but I must not because they sure send me 20 articles a day. I must still be subscribed to them. Because Lord, they send me 20 articles a day. I need to go in and unsubscribe. I need to go make sure I'm unsubscribed from them. All right, hold on. Let me pull up the press conference. Is this it right here? Okay, here it is right here. Hold on, let me screen. Turn y'all volume up. It's a little low. Candace said no. Well, ain't nobody else answering, so we're going to look at it. It's only a few minutes long, child. We're going to look at it again. Because the whole press conference is 27 minutes. But we're not looking at 27 minutes.
Lewis. I am the CEO of the Brand Development Group, and we represent Mr. Mark Ferrell. We are here today to hear from Mark tell his side of the story and break the silence. We're actually very excited to be able to be here. Today, you're going to hear from Mark himself. You're going to also hear from Brian Jenkins, which is the former president of the NAACP here in Rockdale County. And you're also going to hear from his attorney, the great Miss Latoya Francis Williams, who will speak on the behalf. We're going to start with Mark, and then we will go with Brian, and then Latoya will wrap up for us, okay? And then we can take some questions, and then if you want to do some private interviews, we're happy to do that after as well. So, Mark, let me get there.
Greetings, everyone. Greetings. Today, good morning. Today I end my silence for 3 years. I watched my name dragged through the mud, my business stolen, my home taken, my children withheld, and my dignity attacked. The truth is simple. What happened to me was not justice. It was abuse of power. The 2022 hearing that changed my life should have never happened. I was never properly served without service. There is no jurisdiction. That means the court never had the legal authority to rule against me. Yet they did. In that ruling, my company, my livelihood, and my future was taken from me. Even from disturbing the court, ignored overwhelming evidence that Nana Chicken and Waffles was business. My business was started with my money and my family recipes. Just 1 month before the hearing, Kelli signed an operating agreement acknowledging that we were partners. We have a signature. We have a text sending it back to our business manager. We have Secretary of State filings, EIN numbers, tax documents, everything. She went into court, lied, and claimed she was the sole owner. The business ignored the agreement, ignored the evidence, and handed my company. The clerk of court, Janice Morris, even further, posted on social media celebrating Kelli, praising her as she took my company. You are the clerk of the court. I trusted you to be neutral, to respect the office you hold. Instead, you cheered on injustice. And Nancy B. EIN numbers.
Okay, so a couple of things. First of all, he said that a month before they went to court, Kelli signed an operating agreement acknowledging that they were partners. So that means that when Kelli went into court, she had paperwork saying that y'all were partners, not that it was 100% yours. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go back a little bit. Let me go back a little bit.
Tax documents, everything. She went into court, lied, and claimed she was the sole owner. The business ignored the agreement, ignored the evidence, and handed my company. The clerk of court, Janice Morris, even further, posted on social media celebrating Kelli, praising her as she took my company.
So he said that the clerk of the court went on social media celebrating Kelli and praising her while all this was going on. Hey, Papa. And did she sign it by force? That's a good question as well.
You are the clerk of the court. I trusted you to be neutral, to respect the office you hold. Instead, you cheered on injustice. And Nancy Bills, every time I stepped into your courtroom, I expected fairness, but I found hostility and bias. You even denied me the right to counsel at one hearing. You called me names on record. You forced me under threat of jail to transfer assets that were fully in my name, including my food truck. You locked me up multiple times for money that had already been paid back into my joint account. I was terrified to stand before you because you showed me again and again that I had no chance of being treated fairly. Let me be clear. I never stole money from my business. The funds were from loans and grants that had both been signed to expand Nana's. When I saw reckless personal spending, I safeguarded the funds as recommendation of our then business partner. Before the June hearing, I had already turned over $320,000 to the joint business account. Once the companies that I had found a path forward, which was agreeing to the terms of operational agreement, which outlined that both signatures was needed, and you agreeing to not spend funds reserved for the business expansion.
So I'm gonna say the same thing I said last night. You doing too much talking. You are litigating through social media, and that's not gonna work. Like none of us are attorneys or judges or nothing. So hey, well, I'm glad KDK. I'm glad you found me, my love. But yeah, sir, you doing too much talking. And you saying too much. That's too complicated. That's too much. You talking about business agreements and paperwork and stuff. Sir, litigate that in court. Litigate that in court. But I do want to know what that sign says. That man right there in the back. What that sign? I want to know what that sign says. What that sign say? What does the sign say, sir?
By December 2022, every penny was back. Yet in January 2024, I spent over 40 days in jail, while my ex-wife and her attorney told the court it had never been repaid. This is false imprisonment. This is fraud. And while Kelli was awarded the business, the cars, the proceeds from the homes, and more, I still left with the debt. To this day, that loan sits on my credit while she uses the business it funded. On top of that, her attorney withheld over $74,000 that was legally mine from the sale of our home. Money that sat over a year before quietly sent to escrow. Money I could have used to support my children and myself after losing everything. Child support was set at nearly $4,000 a month, not based on my income, but on a business grant. Still, I tried. I offered payments that were rejected. I paid $14,000 with help from a friend when I was jailed again. I even offered half of the $74,000 I was owed just to catch up. But
so he said that he offered Kelli money, she refused it because I guess he was offering less than the $3,900 a month. He said that the money from the sale of the house is sitting there, $74,000. He said he offered to give Kelli half of it to get him caught up. I'm just telling you this what the man's saying, child. Brown Mama, I'm gonna come back to what you said.
the truth is, Kelli doesn't want resolution. She wants to keep me down because without that storyline, she loses her platform. And bravo, your hands are not clean. You gave airtime to lies that you knew could not be sustained. You put my daughter on national TV without my permission. You built a storyline that destroyed my name from entertainment. This is defamation. Defamation. It will not stand. So today,
it's defamation. He said it's defamation.
I inform the world I intend to sue every party that's played a role in this part. Those who withheld my children, who stole my money, who illegally held my home proceeds, who ran hearings without jurisdiction, and abused their public offices, and who profited off lies. To my children, Chance, Chester, and Chastity, hear me clearly. I love you. I have never left you. I have fought for you every day, in every courtroom, every filing, and every word I speak. No matter what you told, no matter what you've seen on TV, your father always loved you and always will. To my supporters, this is bigger than me. This is about accountability, integrity, and justice.
Now, I let defamation slide. But I don't know what integrity is. What is integrity? Somebody tell me what integrity is. I don't know what integrity is.
What happened to Rockdale should have never happened to a man, another father, or another family. My silence is over. The truth is heard, and today is just the beginning. Thank y'all.
So the press conference goes on from there. Other people speak. Y'all are more than welcome to go. It's on YouTube. Y'all can go find it. Okay, if y'all want to see the whole 27 minutes. Now he said that Kelli is not allowing him to see his daughters. He said that the only way he can see his daughters is if he said he hasn't seen his daughters since May. And he said the only way he can see his daughters is if he goes up to the school and has lunch with them. He said that he's supposed to have visitation and Kelli will not honor it. And that he is taking her back to court. Now, he did say he's going back to court for that now. I still don't understand why he thinks this situation is important enough for a press conference. Just filed a lawsuit. Yeah, I didn't understand the press conference either. Now, Brown Mama, thank you, Brown Mama. Let me scroll back up. Brown Mama dropped a few things in the chat. She looked some stuff up for us. So I want to say that before we get off of here. Hold on, Brown Mama. Brown Mama said his name, according to the Georgia business license, is that his name is Chavulo Fernell and not Mark. Right. Yeah, Mark is like what he goes by or whatever. Hold on. I'm trying to find a comment because it was something you said. I wanted to read it. I didn't scroll back up far enough. Hold on. Anyway, she looked up. Brown Mama said, based on the hold on, I want to read it. Okay, here it is right here. According to Georgia business license, he was the only owner of Nana's Chicken and Waffles, and it was dissolved on September the 13th of 2024. See, that's what I don't understand. And I get it. Somebody said if you don't show up for court, the judge can do whatever they want. I guess. You know, and again, I do feel like his reason for not showing up in court was because he felt like, oh, she ain't give me the paperwork, I don't have to go. Y'all know how people, y'all know how these people do, child. Y'all know how these people do. It's like those TikTok videos that show the police pulling people over and these people come up with the craziest things that they think the police can and cannot do. You know, they come up with and then it always ends up with them getting arrested. It always ends up with them getting arrested. Hey, Spilly boy. I'm about to get off of here. I need to call you when I get off of here. If you're not busy. If you don't have a broom in your hand or nothing. Hey, boo. What's up, JB? Yeah, so at this point, you guys, I'm going to try to get that paperwork because I really need to read it. But I believe, because a lot of what he said is just too easy to prove to be true. I just don't understand. I need to find out. I guess what I need to read is the judge's decision. I guess I need to read the judge's decision. I don't know. Brenda said that man's whole life was destroyed while his wife had a whole TV show to do the destruction. Why is one person so much less significant in the Bravo celebrity? Hey, Andrea. All right, y'all. Let me get off of here. But yeah, so there's that. That's the latest update. I'm sure we may or may not get more. One thing's for sure and two things for certain. Kelli got a storyline. Kelli definitely has a storyline. So, all right, y'all. We're about to get out of here. I will talk to y'all later. Peace. I keep forgetting that mouse though. It's not connected to the computer.